More than 3 million people die from vaccine-preventable diseases each year. Shocking, I know. It's crazy there are that many people who would rather risk death than get a small series of shots. This topic is more important than ever to discuss because of the current ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Having been vaccinated myself at several points throughout my life, being a biology major, and having 3 of my 4 immediate family members working in healthcare, I've had a lot of experience with the idea of vaccination. My goal is to help you understand why vaccines should be required for all Americans if their health allows it. I want to ensure that all of you gain a better understanding of why vaccines are important for protecting the health of yourself, the health of those around you, and protecting the health of future generations. First, let's discuss how vaccines impact everybody and why you should care about whether or not people in your community are getting vaccinated. There's an ongoing need for global vaccination in our world today. Everybody, even the unvaccinated, benefit from the collective immunity to diseases that vaccines provide. This applies to all of you because all of us have an immune system that is protecting us from death, and we've all been sick at some point and gotten better since then. The need for vaccination is only growing more apparent as time goes on. This is especially evident today during the ongoing viral pandemic. Science has proven time and time again that vaccines have a lasting positive impact on communities who choose to take part in receiving them. According to an article published by the New England Journal of Medicine, children whose parents opt out of getting their children necessary immunizations are at an increased risk for measles and pertussis, and these children can infect others who are too young to be vaccinated, cannot be vaccinated for medical reasons, or were vaccinated and did not have a sufficient immunologic response. This proves that the vaccinated population is only benefiting from those who cannot receive vaccinations due to a compromised immune system or their age. Many people believe that vaccines do more harm than good because they think that by getting the vaccine, they're just giving themselves the virus they were trying to prevent because the vaccine is just a little bit of the virus, which is actually the result of a misunderstanding. According to the book titled Statistics in Clinical Vaccine Trials, written by Joseph Nauta, vaccines contain attenuated, weakened, or inactivated microorganisms. This is why people typically believe they are just being injected with the virus, which isn't untrue, but what they don't understand is that they actually cannot get sick from these inactive microorganisms. The goal behind these vaccines is to provoke the adaptive immune system in a way that closely mimics the immune response to the natural pathogenic microorganisms. Vaccines are essentially a less risky way to gain immunity to an otherwise fatal disease. Now that I have told you why we need vaccines, I'm now going to tell you about why you should follow through with becoming vaccinated if you are able. You will be benefited through the protection of your own personal health. According to an article published by the CDC, or Center for Disease Control, only about 1 to 5% of people who are vaccinated fail to develop some type of immunity. This means that if you were vaccinated, you would have a 95% higher chance of staying healthy versus somebody who was not vaccinated. Of course, there is a varying outcome depending on the virus and the vaccine, but I personally would take any percentage higher than 0. You overall have a much lower likelihood of dying if you were to get sick from an illness you've already been vaccinated for. You would also protect the health of others. If you are vaccinated, you won't be the reason that a person with a weakened immune system, such as somebody with HIV or a baby, gets sick and dies because you'll be providing herd immunity for them. According to the Association of Professionals in Infection Control and Epidemiology, herd immunity, or community immunity, occurs when a high percentage of the community is immune to a disease through vaccination and or prior illness, making the spread of this disease from person to person unlikely. Another way you would be protecting the health of others by getting vaccinated is from having the antibodies to defend against common illnesses that you were vaccinated for. So if it did enter your body would be able to kill the virus before it has a chance to mutate into something more harmful and escape your body. You will also have an overall lesser likelihood of becoming sick, so you don't risk spreading the illness in its early stages before you even knew that you were sick. You would also get to protect the health of future generations. Getting vaccinated stops the spread of disease, therefore making it less likely for future generations to experience epidemics or pandemics. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine National Institutes of Health Search Database, vaccination is the best option by which spread of a pandemic virus could be prevented and the severity of a disease reduced. Individuals getting vaccinated can result in the extinction of a disease entirely, therefore resulting in a 0% chance of future generations becoming infected. Okay, so now that you know all the benefits that would come with being vaccinated, I want you to think about if everybody got vaccinated as an infant. If we didn't follow through with this, People, especially infants and the disabled, will continue to die from preventable diseases. Future generations will dwindle due to the increasing prevalence of these illnesses and decreasing prevalence of those who have the necessary antibodies to fight them off. And herd immunity will no longer exist because there will be more powerful diseases and less vaccinated people. An example of people who are doing this is the people of many European Union countries. In these countries, there is a much lower rate of illness due to the diseases their citizens were vaccinated for. This proves the effectiveness of said vaccines and that vaccination requirements would yield benefits. Ways that you can contribute are by getting vaccinated, keeping up to date with your vaccines, vaccinating your future children, educating others about the benefits of vaccines, and encouraging others to do the same. Doing this will result in an overall more educated and healthy population. Ultimately, if everybody who is physically able to receive vaccines gets vaccinated, your health, the public's health, and future generations' health will be better protected from preventable diseases. Although many of you have probably never experienced a loved one dying due to preventable illness, we can still work towards decreasing the 3 million deaths for those who are in that situation.